Yesterday, the teaser trailer for the Marvels had dropped, and ever since I saw the trailer, it's been on my mind. So I decided to come in here to give my thoughts on how I feel about the trailer, the characters, certain plot points that I think is going to happen. And on top of that, talk about the hate that's going on with this movie. But before we get started, I'm your host, Kariza. This is The Assassination, and don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified the next time I post a video. So I want to talk about what I think it's going to be about, and based off the trailer, there seems to be some type of space adventure being had between Monica, Miss Marvel, and Captain Marvel. And what's in the story, they're going to discover why their powers are connected or how their powers are connected, on top of them fighting the villain, which I will talk about later. And honestly, when it comes to the trailer, it didn't really get me excited for the movie. I'm more so just interested in the story and what's going to actually happen inside this movie, and more than being excited and hyped for it. I don't know if it's the trailer itself or it's my own expectations when it comes to Phase 5, because when it comes to this phase, I wouldn't say I'm particularly hyped for any project. And because of that, my expectations is very low compared to any other phase, because there's no project right now that has me jumping in joy of excitement that I really want to see like I did when it came to something like Captain America Winter Soldier, or something like an Infinity War, or a No Way Home, or freaking Wakanda Forever. Now I understand I dropped some pretty big names like Captain America or even Spider-Man, but someone like Miss Marvel's a character that I really enjoyed in Phase 4. So seeing her on another project should honestly make me excited, but I feel like because I have low expectations on top of not really knowing what the story is basically going to be about, it's a reason why I'm not particularly excited or hyped for this movie. But speaking of the Marvels and the movie itself, it looks like it's going to be a very fun time and that it's going to be silly and everything, but that can honestly be a hit or miss, because when we think about the MCU and their comedy, sometimes they overstep and overdo it, and a project that definitely comes to mind when it comes to that has to be Love and Thunder. And I'm someone who really enjoyed Love and Thunder and feel like that movie is overhated, but at the same time I understand why people dislike the movie, and when it comes to the comedy, they definitely overdid it. And I really don't want that to be the same case when it comes to the Marvels, because like I said, it really does feel like this movie is going to be a lot of fun and everything, and I just don't want the comedy or like the silly aspect inside this movie to be over the top. Like honestly, the movie looks to have a lot of personality. I would say the reason, or the main reason, that is because of Kamala, who is Miss Marvel. And I know there's a lot of people who really disliked her show. In my opinion, I actually did like it, but at the same time, there was a lot of boring periods that made me just want to turn off the show. But the best part of the show definitely had to be Miss Marvel, and I feel like her personality is going to rub off on Captain Marvel. And I feel like that type of personality is something that's needed when it comes to her character, because when it comes to Miss Marvel, I said Miss Marvel, when it comes to Captain Marvel, her character has just been like this cocky character who thinks she's the strongest and just thinks she can beat anyone and just want to act on her own. So having someone like Kamala or even Monica back inside her life, honestly, I feel like it make her character a lot more likable. And I really hope it does, because I know a lot of people hate her character, especially her movie, and I know her character isn't even likable when it comes to the comic. But I would say the most interesting character inside this movie has to be Monica Rambeau, because I would love to see how her powers develop and how her powers works and everything. But at the same time, I would love to see how her conversation goes with Captain Marvel, because of WandaVision, there seemed to be like there's some type of history between them, and I would love for that to be a plot point inside this movie. One thing that I would have to say that I do find interesting when it comes to this movie is the whole swapping thing. I feel like this type of plot point could be very creative for the movie, because they can use it for something like the comedy, or even use it for like fight scenes. Just one point inside this trailer that I really liked a lot, because when they fight in this person, they're actually swapping inside the fight, which I think is pretty cool. And I believe the person that they're fighting will in fact be the main villain of the movie, and her name is going to be Lori. For what I know about her, she's a Kree soldier for the Kree Skull Alliance, and on top of that, she's actually the half sister of Captain Marvel. I don't know if they're going to add that as a plot point, but if they do, I feel like that type of plot point or storyline inside the movie would be very interesting. But inside the movie, you can see her wearing one of Miss Marvel's bangles, which I hope I said that right, and on top of that, she's using a weapon that's very familiar, because it's the same weapon that Ronan the Accuser used to start Guardians of the Galaxy, in which I believe inside the comics she actually replaces Ronan. So I really hope that she's going to be a good villain. And I saw on Twitter how people talk about in the beginning of the trailer how Monica was looking at that electrical field that is going to be some type of universe, a new dimension. I really don't think that's the case, but we are part of the multiverse saga, so anything is possible. This one thing I want to talk about before I wrap up this video is basically about the MCU, because when you sit here and look up the Marvels, all you're going to sit here and see is hate and how people saying their MCU is dying and that this movie is going to be trash, this, that, and the third. And there's multiple reasons on why this is happening, but one of them being the fact that this movie is an all-female led movie, which I find to be very stupid and crazy, because people are really out here upset that the MCU is having females have movies and being in projects, when literally in phase 1 to 3 we had like what, one female-led movie, and people are upset that the MCU is now giving a lot more women female-led shows and female-led movies. So obviously the MCU is going to sit here and introduce a lot more female characters when the Infinity Saga is made up entirely of mostly male characters. And on top of that, it's already a trend for people to hate on the MCU and Marvel, which I'm going to make a video about soon because the hate is honestly getting ridiculous. I'm gonna sit here and say this: if you aren't interested inside this movie because you just aren't interested, that is cool. But if the reason is being because it's females inside this movie, you're weird. You're just honestly weird. And this is honestly the reason I say the MCU isn't dying because of the MCU, it's dying because of the fans. It was a teaser trailer. The official trailer is not even out. The movie doesn't come out until November, and people are already saying this movie is going to be trash. People are already sitting here saying this is going to ruin the MCU, this, that, and the third. It's like, I just don't understand. My audio cut out, but I was basically saying that I really don't understand, because I really don't. All this unnecessary hate towards these women is just crazy. Like, I honestly don't understand how you sat here and watched the Marvel trailer, and the first thing that you do is, you know what, I'm gonna make a video about how this is gonna be trash and how this is gonna continue to ruin the MCU, this, that, and the third. Like, I'm literally sitting here looking at one of them, and the title of the video is a super cringe Marvel trailer confirms why the MCU is in big trouble. And it's just further proof why I keep saying the fans are the reason why the MCU is not hitting no more. It's not the movies, it's not the way the movies getting written, it's the fans themselves. And like I said, I'm gonna make a video about that in the future, of why I feel like the MCU is dying, or why I feel like it's not hitting no more. But like I said, I'm not too excited for the movie right now. Hopefully the official trailer gets me excited for it. I'm just really interested right now. I really want this movie to be really good, not because I want it to just be a good movie, but mostly for the people who just hating just to hate. I just want this movie to shut them up. But even if this movie is really good, it could be a top 5 MCU movie, it's still gonna get hate by them because they're just gonna be misogynistic because they're women. If you made it this far into this video and you are really hyped for this movie, don't let nobody else's opinion affect yours. Keep being hyped for the movie. I really hope it's gonna be way better than we expected it to be. But I basically said everything that I wanted to say inside this video when it comes to the characters, the movies, how I feel about the hate, this, that, and the third. But don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified the next time I post a video. Until next time, Assassin out.
You never see it coming.